Hello, welcome to the Magical Boots 57th episode. This is Ronnie. I have Shudipta. Shudipta, we have had 7 days, or actually 8 days of World Cup
Yeah,
football. Um,
too much football actually.
too much football. Four matches in a day, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But still, we're going to talk about it a little bit here and there. But how do we do that? Do we go group by group?
We can do that, or we can go match by match, like from I don't know.
Okay, whatever makes it easier. I think we haven't talked about group.
F E and G H I
Right,
H.
right, and then obviously almost like two games have happened for at least group F,
A to D.
E, and F too.
Oh yeah, yeah. F two. Okay.
Yeah, just only G and H have one games. But let's go down to the group E and F. Spain and Germany. We just finished the game, and just before that, Japan winning against Germany. We predicted that a long time ago in our preview when the World Cup draw has happened. So
Yeah.
your thought on the Germany Japan first, and then obviously Japan losing to Costa Rica.
Um. Actually, those players who played for the German against German team, they are not actually like how can I say new players for them, because most of the players were playing for Bundesliga teams, and
The
actually two
Japanese
of them
player.
though, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So two of them already probably scored. And funny thing is that I did not like some attitude from some players in that match, because like when they are ahead, especially the attitude from Rudiger when he was running funnily. Uh, it was funny actually, but did not like that actually. But they sort of uh, they deserve it, because they how can I say um, they did not uh, they did not give the respect Japan deserve.
Yeah,
So
I think they got a little complacent, and Japanese coach Japanese coach is known for a little bit conservative, but they have unleashed some of the attacking option after 70 minutes or so. And then obviously Japan's with the quick transitional play, they have caused problems for the German backline, especially for someone like Schlotterberg. Uh,
Schlotterbeck, I don't know, like it's sort of like on off on off on off. I
and
would have
and
actually
also the right Niklas Sula was playing right back on that day.
Yeah, it's sort of like the plan to shift in between the match, like a three in the back sort of situation. And Rome has a free license to go up and down, and there will be always like three defenders. So that was the plan, sort of like. Um, but Rudiger is also like an aggressive center back, so like he pushed up sometimes. Considered to yeah, other center back actually. And funny thing is that like I sort of thought Ginter is going to play uh, other than Schlotterbeck, but I don't know, for some reason Schlotterbeck is picked, Ginter is not. But Ginter is one of the on-form player. When we discussed about like
Hmm.
the Freiburg team,
Hmm.
I did that episode. So yeah, it sort of expected Freiburg duo will be in the defense. But yeah, anyway, it was predicted. Like we predicted in like 6 months before,
Yeah, 7 months actually. Yeah.
6 7 months. Yeah. So we were sort of like, I probably texted you like
Yeah.
Octopus Paul or
Yeah.
something like that.
No, we knew that German backline is a little bit slow, and
Yeah, and
Japan
Euro happened
plays.
like Euro was like in last year, so like there aren't that much time to fix a new team or make a new team, and there aren't actually that many games available as well. So he got only like 10, 12, 12 or 13 games
Yeah.
before coming to the World Cup. So Flick is a good tactician. We have seen today. But we'll go there. But anyway, that I did not like. I always have been saying that I have been in probably said in that episode. Actually, I had some rant going on against some German supporters with team selections last yeah, in the last World Cup and this World Cup as well. Um, um, uh, yeah, it was really well. People from Bayern, they are really, hard to argue against. But yeah, like somehow they saw my point. But yeah, what I'm saying so far is that like um, if I don't see Manuel Neuer in the team normally. I don't see some other guys, Sule. Um, there shouldn't be in the team, and there is this generational gap, and they're trying to. It is actually really hard for a coach to come up in the right after a tournament like and about get an year to fix like fix the team and prepare for the World Cup and with like only few handful matches available. And the problem was that like yeah, there was this generational gap because like previous coach, if you remember that confederations cup match, the German team was like ferocious because most of the first team players, uh, they weren't actually picked in that team. So 2017's Confederations Cup team is actually better than 2018's World Cup team. So that actually created a national gap. Like players like Draxler, um, now he's nowhere. Um, uh, like Gotcha came back, but it's not that as good as he tried. He was pushed into the match. They probably expected some, I don't know, World Cup miracles, but miracles only happens once.
Or if you're
That's why
Miroslav
they're
Klose.
called miracles. Yeah, but the thing is that like Miroslav Klose is a different sort of guys, and Gotcha was like sort of like a luck and some other things actually, but he's not that sort of player, you know. And another thing is that like they have a good conductor in between, Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah, no, not just that. I mean, I think their midfield is
One of
quite
the
solid.
one yeah, and one of the best midfield so far, but they're still underperforming because of this. They have to overrun sometimes to go back a little bit deeper to cover up these defenders, and some defenders are good in ball, but when their positioning sense is like really bad, and when they are come up against like really fast teams, it was causing always problems. So that's why we predicted that Japan is going to probably going to beat, and they did a few days ago. So yeah, it's not not
Japan,
like
in the
anything.
meantime, they've lost to Costa Rica. I think
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, and you already mentioned that Japan's coach is like a little
conservative.
bit pragmatic. Yeah, I did not. Well, I was watching the game. I went out because it was really beautiful weather today. So yeah, it's better than to get
Watch
some sort
eight
of like
hour of
sunshine. Yeah,
football.
yeah, exactly. And also like the extra time is not helping as well.
Yeah,
So
so pushing the limit,
so
just
yeah,
living for football.
yeah. So yeah, I was surprised to see Japan was like holding themselves back. Players like Minamino, they are in from this like he's known for one of the club player So like he always goes for attack. Tomiyasu is known for like Tomiyasu probably one of the most technical genius playing for that team. So they're for some reason the coach actually changed them against Costa Rica,
Yeah.
and Costa Rica is like well how they are.
Well, Costa Rica. Look, I've seen a little bit of them because of CONCACAF.
They had a KG match against Canada, right?
They had. They always have with
If you
anyone.
if you if you yeah, I remember you mentioned that actually in when we
All
were
all
getting
they
started.
all they do
Uh,
is block, block, block,
yeah,
block,
exactly.
and it didn't
But
work with Spain
they're
because
really good in set
transition.
pieces.
Yeah, and sometime even in transition, especially in CONCACAF standard. But their only way to score is set piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
And
do great
they
actually.
still have a chance. I mean, this group, if today Spain won against Germany, they would have
Yeah.
qualified already. Now, everyone has a chance of qualifying.
Yeah, it's a sort of a funny group, and um, yeah, well, if Germany lost that game and Spain, sorry, Japan would have
If
won
Japan
that game. So
won
like,
this today,
yeah,
they would have been already qualified.
yeah, and the thing is that like, well, that would be too easy for other teams from that side, in a way. I'm not disrespecting Japan or any other team, but still, that side is like a little bit, uh, only
Yeah,
like two,
yeah,
three World Cup winner.
yeah, yeah. And both are in the
So,
same group.
yeah,
Yeah, no, you're quite right. And then let's take our attention to the group of F, which is Canada played brilliantly against. Sorry, just
um,
before going there, we should have just talked about this game. Just we have just watched the Spain
which
versus
one?
Germany, the big game, big
Oh yeah,
blockbuster game. Um,
uh, first game World Cup winner. Both, yeah, played by both World Cup winners actually today. Only
yeah,
game actually in group round
yeah.
so far.
How did you see the game? Did you enjoy it?
Actually, it was fun to watch, but I was sort of annoyed by some Spanish stuff. I was texting at the time, probably to you. Like, I did not like why Nico Williams is there. He played a brilliant game in the Nations Cup, but that is Nations Cup. That's not World Cup, Um, if but also this guy Koke. I don't know why he's there,
Okay.
what he's doing, or
I by mistake have typed joke, which is coke. But yeah, joke is it was joke to send him for Gavi.
uh, yeah. I don't understand, but I don't actually remember Spanish squad, but Borja is not there, right?
Borja Iglesias, no, he's not.
Oh, oh my god. Okay. Okay, Borja could have actually played in the right. Who else is who can play in the right?
Well,
Well, there are
there was
players.
Oyarzabal played really well for the
Yeah,
Euro. I don't know
yeah.
why he was dropped. There's a lot of other players, like especially even um, I mean, I could name Real Sociedad. Even David Silva can play better football than this.
I
Anyway,
think first choice Ferran Torres. I think it is right in a way. I can understand that like first Asensio,
Ansu Fati.
Torres, and Fati could have come, but Fati is not good in pressing, and they wanted to press Germany up high from the first
But
minutes. So I
yeah,
can understand Dani Olmo is coming from that left, and Dani Olmo actually played like through and through for the 90 minutes. And Asensio, when was he there? He was like
he
very
missed
good
a
in
very
building
good
up.
chance.
Yeah, actually he did. But yeah, just before he was subbed off. Um,
That's why I
and
thought Vasquez from Real Madrid could have been called.
Yeah, but one of the reason he's not there because he's Enrique. So the need system. No, there are other actually players. Mm, who can play in the right?
Yeah, even Iago Aspas could play in the right.
Yeah, Iago Aspas. Actually, yeah, he was choosing Iago Aspas before, if you remember,
Yeah,
right? But he's not there. There is another guy. Who can also play as a defender.
Pino. I think that's he's on the bench from Villarreal.
Yeah,
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 he's a very quick guy. Yeah.
yeah. He could have actually come in, but I don't know. Nico Williams, for some reason, he probably blanked out or something like that because of the intensity of the game.
Yeah.
Or because I have seen
There's
him, he was brilliant in that last game when last competitive game when they played against.
Costa Rica
No, no, no.
Nations
Uh,
League.
Nations League, and they lost probably against Switzerland or some other team. I forgot actually. Which one. Or Portugal. Portugal, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I don't understand Koke, but Busquets for some reason. Oh well, what do you think? Playing Rodri as a center back.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Rodri has intelligence. Is a very progressive player. It's almost
Also
like a
stress
clone.
resistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I sometimes saw Busquets dropping deep to cover
Mm.
him and other way around. So I think it's quite good so far.
Yeah. Also, yeah, it's good for building up from the back, but Busquets, Busquets actually like after 60, 70 minutes he seems off always. But for some reason he's not subbed off.
No, Luis Enrique
Uh,
told on his Twitch that if Busquets become 99 years old, then he still has the right to play on that number 5 role. So,
okay.
uh, but yeah,
Anyway,
there is a lot of Luis Enrique thing. That's we're not gonna get into.
okay. This commentator was saying something in the beginning of the game, like he was so surprised to see that a coach is giving interview like an hour ago before a match. Is he mentioned? Like I was going to
I
ask you. I was asking you.
I don't
Probably
know
it
if
was
it was Louis.
Enrique or
I don't know.
Flick. I mean, because Flick is also also quite a character.
Yeah, Flick is
Hansi
correct.
Flick.
If Hansi Flick is a character, and both are great coaches, but
Yeah.
there is very few like Luis Enrique. He just gave a recent interview with Sid Lowe. I was reading in the Guardian.
Mm.
He said that he wants to be the guy. He likes his team to be dished out or being not being favored, so he can fight back and lift them up. So he likes them to fail miserably at certain point that he can lift them up. So he's that kind of character. Uh, it's quite a
Yeah.
character, basically. Yeah,
What do you think of Germany? Um,
I think Germany got. First of all, Germany. I don't think in this team there's a lot of things were not functioning well, and Hansi Flick is
yeah.
probably understanding it on the go. And this is the most amount of time I think they got in a camp, in training sessions and stuff like that. I think a lot of things are he's identifying on the go. First game, I think Musiala was taken off. The midfield became a little bit empty, and every player. It was funny because every player came out and every player gave interview. Neuer to Muller to Gundogan to um, like everybody was giving an interview. It was very unlike Argentina. Like Argentina lost, and only Messi spoke for 3 4 minutes, and everyone else was just zipped. But Germany, everyone stand, and everyone gave their opinion.
That is one of the reason I don't like this Germany team. If you remember, like German teams, I don't know, like it doesn't look like a German team, uh, for some reason, like
Like
they
not all
they're
German team. It's a different.
yeah, yeah, and they are so like politically they're trying to be politically correct in like so many ways,
Exactly.
and it doesn't make sense. You went there to play football. Just
And
let's
almost
play
everyone
cricket.
is a coach in training, but they're actually playing the game, but they're giving that explanation and stuff like that. Look, they have one of the best midfield, even without
Yeah,
Tony Cruz being retired. They have Kimmich, they have
Goretzka, Goretzka.
Gundogan, obviously. Goretzka is there, but he was not playing in the first game. Musiala is there.
Yeah, yeah.
They can bring any other attacking option.
Musiala can actually play any positions, like
Exactly,
any, like he's sort of like Bernardo Silva, but faster.
exactly. So you
Yeah,
saw the one of the best team, I think, passing team is
mhm.
Spain. They were getting more and more kind of chasing shadows, but they came back with some kind of intensity. They started to break out the passing lane of Spain. So you saw that they were working hard, and Hansi
Yeah.
Flick,
And last actually 10 minutes, they were better side than
yeah,
Spanish.
yeah, exactly, because Spain just because Koke came in and Gavi wasn't
Mm.
there. But exactly my point is how every German player came out and gave their opinion. I thought it was very, very interesting in a different way because almost everyone is vocal, almost everyone is outspoken, and in my opinion, they're speaking too much. It all should be inside the dressing room, not outside. Like,
I think so far I have seen from like, Germany, there is a pressure going on them actually. There were so many things outside of football going on, and for some reason it's sort of like this Mbappe interview, if you remember, like he was talking about Neymar, and but it actually creates a lot of noises. More it always creates more noise,
yeah,
you know.
more unwanted noise.
Yeah, exactly. So like you don't need that in the World Cup, and you just need to be peace and quiet after playing like in this heat. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
go find yourself a teammate, find yourself with your family, girlfriend, have some private time, recover, train hard, come back. You don't
yeah,
have to be um, an advocate for something or a
yeah,
coach in training because you already have a very coach that has some kind of character.
like
Um, but yeah, that's my thought on Germany. I thought it was quite interesting, and especially the backline, the changes today. I thought was better. Makes sense. Say for example, I don't want to say Niklas Sula on the right back. Uh,
but there aren't actually they did not actually pick. I don't know, good right
Ginter,
backs.
yeah,
Yeah,
or today was
Ginter is not like
Kerrer.
right back. It's Kerrer, yeah.
Yeah, right. Kerrer is. Uh, but anyway,
Kerrer is better actually.
I thought
Faster,
it was a
faster.
better
Yeah,
version today. There was a lot more
yeah,
intensity on the game. It was not like after 60
yeah,
minutes they're playing for fun and making
yeah,
disrespect. Obviously, Spain is cannot you cannot disrespect Spain.
yeah.
Um, Coming back to that, I thought Germany were a little better. I think they have a good chance of going through. But again, it's not easy uh,
Yeah, they only
to
have
score
a one
against
point.
Costa Rica. If
Yeah,
you get early goal, it's easy. But you have to play full crook. I think your traditional number nine.
yeah, yeah. Fulkrug is an interesting character actually from Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen, so far they are in Bundesliga because of him. Um, Last season he was playing in the second division, but it's sort of a story. It's his first call actually. He only played like 3 matches and already scored 2 goals, and two of them actually, yeah, are most important goals so far.
Yeah, because
So
the reason I'm saying this Costa Rica team has the ability to frustrate a lot of team, and they can frustrate if you don't get your goal.
yeah, exactly. Also, they need lots of crosses, like from like wings, because they are not going to get any space in the middle.
No.
Costa Rica probably will let you play in the wings, but they need some early crosses, like those crosses Lam used to make from I don't know, like from
I
the.
almost think they would be well, no disrespect to Kerrer, they're probably not a bad idea to have Kimmich on right back or at least on the half line. Um,
Well, he is playing on that side and he's shifting with the right backs sometimes. So
right.
Sule sometimes is coming as an inverted, and they will get more balls against Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But what are they going to play if they qualify in the second round?
I think they're going to supposed to play either one of the top team from either Croatia or like today Morocco beat Belgium
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Croatia beat
And
Canada very well. So I think Croatia, there is a very good chance Croatia would be in the top place. Although Croatia has a game with Belgium, and Belgium wants to win that.
if they play against Morocco, then would have been an interesting game.
Yeah, it's a tough one because Morocco is very, very speedy team.
Yeah, it's really fast. I saw how they played today. I yeah, I also have seen the other game fair amount against Croatia. Croatia was nowhere near Morocco that game.
Yeah,
They played horrible actually, but somehow they managed to get a draw. And today, uh, well, they won against Canada. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, yeah, that this is the sort of thing team actually. Germany would love to actually avoid the faster teams. For some reason, still it's not the combination is not coming. Although the players are faster, Kehrer is faster, Rudiger is faster, but mm, faster than actually Hummels or other who played in the last World Cup. But still, this what I mentioned, like this generational gap, is not actually meant to be.
I think
So
what happened with this German team, they have a fascination towards a different kind of like game. They have like tiki taka sort of fascination, but they're not there yet with a better team. They don't have that. They don't have the all the pieces to dictate like 2014 team.
yeah, it will take some time, and also like they would have actually changed some personnel from from the last Euro, like Neuer, play someone like Stegan or someone. Stegan is also like good in feet. Also, Muller is still there. I guess like after this World Cup he wouldn't be. Um, Gundogan is there. Gundogan is well playing okay, but there should be some other like player. Like Gundogan is normally subbed off after like 60 minutes, but there aren't any sort of like creativity from that side, that sort of thing. So what Pedri is produced actually, German midfield is not producing that actually. Yeah. But Kimmich is trying to produce different sort of things like. Uh, he breaks off the play and distribute the ball is sort of like a, combination of Casemiro and Xavi. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Um, he's really, I would say like probably one of the best defensive midfielder right now.
Okay, I think we have spent too much time on
Mm.
Germany.
Mm.
Let's move on to the other group that we talked about a little about Morocco,
That's a
Croatia.
fun group actually.
Yeah, and obviously Canada getting out of this World Cup or eliminated, but they played well in patches. And also the Belgium. What's your
Actually, they were actually unfortunate in the Canada. They were actually unfortunate in the
first game?
first game. Yeah, there were should like we
There should have
probably
been a
talked about
three penalty
three penalties.
thanks to the referee that was I don't know why they selected this referee who blew 85th minute as a full time in the African Cup of Nation, and then he stopped the game. That the game actually, and then he figured it out that oh it was 85th minute. Then he started again the game. After a minute, he just blew the full time whistle. So they have brought this referee to the World Cup, and they've let him let him officiate this match, and obviously Canada didn't Canada suffered for that. There was two or three penalty that should have
I,
been.
I think like there is this dilemma in between. Like I probably texted you.
Yeah.
Like referees are in pressure because like they decided to play like every second. Like every second should be counted. So like if any teams actually stop for the fouls or something like that, so
That's
uh,
unnecessary. Unnecessary.
yeah,
I
and
mean, look at the first 45 minute between Mexico versus Argentina. You had start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. How much minutes
there
were
aren't
added?
any
But
actually.
it became one of the most boring, or tactically very fisty, but it was boring to watch.
Yeah, and also like they have this pressure on them to like let them play or something like that. And also, thing is that like when you are letting things go like this, and it's like it happening in like microseconds, and you are not paying attention, and also like there are like two three different technologies who like you can take help of, but you are not taking help of them, because if you have to take the help of those sort of technology, you have to stop the game. So like it's sort of like a dilemma, like in on referee, like you have to like let the game play and one way, and also like you don't have to make bad decisions. So like
Yeah,
probably in
I
the next
probably
year, like
mentioned that playing extra time, almost like 10, 50, 15 minutes. I've seen 15
mhm.
minutes added.
In the England game against Iran, it was 27 minutes of edit time.
So why we need
It
that?
was it
And
was probably the highest.
and the US versus Wales too. It was like 12 minute plus 14 minutes, and Wales was beaten by Iran in 98-minute goal and 90
99th minute actually.
99-minute
No,
goal.
oh, it was over 98.
Exactly. So players are getting tired, and it's not easy to defend for 90 minutes, and then you're adding another 20 odd minutes. Uh, it is too much on 3 days time, because World Cup happens very quickly, and a lot of team doesn't have the depth.
Well, yeah, well, we have seen that actually in the Premier League as well. Like, if you remember this Arsenal's All or Nothing videos, Arteta was saying something like, "Okay, we have to fight for, we have for 95 and 96 6 minutes and stuff like that." They are already there, but not everyone is there, you know. Like, so physically, it's like painful
And
for
you're still,
some people.
first game
Uh,
happens, you're still accommodating on the weather, acclimatizing with the weather
there
and
aren't any sort of
environment.
like yeah, there aren't any sort of like a practice match before
No,
the game.
no.
Not so many teams actually played. Brazil did not even play. So uh, like it doesn't make sense, because like, and also like teams are beaten, like big teams are beaten. I think it's also because of the chemistry, because some teams are relying on chemistry between these players, and some teams are like really direct. They don't have that much
They're
creativity
just
or
throwing,
chemistry.
throwing
They
players.
just yeah, they just throw 5 4 players and like try to overrun or outrun the opposition and stuff like that. So um, that is another issue, and it's sort of becoming sort of like a uh, yeah, like every tactical break is sort of becoming like a rugby game for me. Like if you have watched one of those rugby games, it's like really tough, and like they have tactical changes in between those
Yeah,
games, and
yeah,
like
and
getting
also
position half high up, stuff like that, and
in rugby
like
substitution is different too.
yeah, exactly. And also, if you remember, actually, Jack Grealish like reminds me of a rugby player. He gets a little bit, he gets hold on the ball and gets a foul, and then go a little bit further and gets a foul, and then go a little bit further,
It's an American
gets a foul.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
coming back to this group, um, Belgium now won very luckily against Canada, lost
yeah,
versus Morocco. Uh,
they deserved it actually, and against Canada, because yeah, there were some unfortunate decision, but for some reason. I don't understand some changes from Canadian side, and they needed actually legs against Belgium. They could have actually, despite of all those refereeing nonsense, they could have actually turned things around, but like changing players too much, and like one of the best players is what's his name, the 11
Buchanan.
Buchanan. I really loved him so far.
I did
So
tell you.
far, what I have seen.
Yeah.
And he's so they're one of their best player. And he should have actually linked with Alfonso Davies. Like when they're shifting side, that should be together, or like something like something in between. They need someone in between, like.
It
But
could have
I
been Estacio, but I think he was playing too deep. One and also
Estakio actually played well the match before. Um, but the problem was that like there aren't any sort of like combination in between these two players. Like either they connect directly, or they should have actually I don't know, they should have to connect through a media or something like that. And another point is that like Jonathan David, he disappointed me actually. He was so confused in front of goal. Sometimes you just have to need to shoot, like sometimes you just need to shoot it out.
yeah, it was thinking too much, I guess.
He's like probably solving equal to MC square in front of the goal. Uh, and his
uh,
face tells it like he's solving a really bad math or something like that.
Good one. But in terms of Croatia, I think Croatia is in a very good position after beating Canada 4-1. I think
Yeah,
they're sitting on top with 4
yeah,
points.
with a goal difference like three, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and also Morocco is in a better spot than Belgium. The last game would be Belgium versus Croatia, and Morocco versus Canada. Although Canada already been
So
out.
far, what I've seen actually, if you remember from the Nations League, I have told you like I really liked some players who came in this Croatian system, like Sosa. Uh, like he actually blocked that side completely. Buchanan could not do anything today. And another thing is that like, well, he also got lucky because when he was pushing up, the center midfielder on that side was what's his name, uh,
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. Yeah, he was horrible today. I don't know how he played for 70 minutes. He should have been soft off like
I
after
think it
40
was his
minutes.
100th game for the senior team. That's
Oh
why
my
he
god,
was.
he's like 39 years old, and I
Yeah,
can understand he was not his leg is giving up, and he's
yeah.
trying to get back, and
He should have
you
been
have to sometimes. Yeah,
substituted before. Yeah.
yeah, even like he shouldn't be in the first team, like after probably first goal. Maybe he should have come up in the second half and try to set
Yeah.
things down and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
makes sense. But it is what it is.
um yeah, some decisions actually, and also that actually like just because of inexperience and some situational, because they, uh yeah, after
And
78
I
minutes
think they
actually.
they they would have been better set up with 4-2-3-1. That's just my opinion. I think they went for almost like a 4-3-3. With strikers, both Larin and Jonathan David started, but it could have been just one striker. Could have been okay. If you don't have trust on Jonathan David or his form is not there, Larin could have started, or other way around.
Yeah, but everything goes up on these two central midfielder because they
Yeah.
let the game like everyone is running. They outrun in through the middle. That is actually, you cannot do that in the World Cup. So, and also another thing, I probably texted you. There is one guy, he was coming up. He was I forgot actually what's his name. He was really he was good, like good. I guess like Larry. Let me check again.
Do you mean a substitution?
Yeah, substitution. It really doesn't make sense.
Kone?
No, Larie.
Laria.
Yeah, Ladia, who's coming up, and the guy who replaced him, he was like, I don't know, he was also over 30, but Ladia was running a lot and covering up spaces, and this guy was not actually at the end of the game. So it doesn't make sense. And also, like, they have like few younger players who hasn't actually kept uh, in this tournament, and it would have been actually because Canada would have been one of the they will going to be arrange the next World Cup. So it would have been a good experience for those players to play in the World Cup and just to get the taste, like
Yeah,
how it feels. And like what we have seen in the like Nico Williams' performance a few minutes ago, he completely blacked out. So like that can happen to those players, but they are young. They will learn. Like they need to get those moments going on.
yeah, no,
So
I totally agree. But just moving on from that Canada discussion, I think Croatia is right now, I think, sitting pretty on the top, and Morocco has a very good chance of getting something out of it. It would be interesting if Morocco actually becomes the first on the top of the group, because then there is a potentiality.
Germany will
Yeah,
play. Yeah.
Germany might face them. Um, who else? Oh, okay. So that's the situation on the Group F. Can we move to Group G with Brazil winning first game against Serbia
Mm.
and Switzerland winning it against Cameroon?
Switzerland game, I did not actually surprised. This Cameroon is not the like the one we knew from the past. So it was not actually
Well,
that
what are you
surprise for
talking
me.
about? Semolito have it as a champion.
Yeah, but uh, they actually struggled in the
Yeah,
uh,
in the qualifying.
qualifying round. So uh, Switzerland, it's sort of like a needed win for them
I think
to get to the
Onana was
final.
the keeper, right? Onana was great.
Yeah, he. Oh, let me check.
Yeah, because I remember watching that highlights and I saw some saves from the keeper.
Yeah, Onana was keeper. Yeah,
Yeah, some of the saves
but
of
the guy who scored Embolo, he was also from
Cameroon,
Cameroon.
and he didn't
Yeah,
celebrate.
Cameroon one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
you only see that in a club game, not much in
yeah,
World Cup.
yeah. But I guess like there are like two players. Like yeah, one of the Williams brothers is playing for Ghana.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll
he,
talk about Ghana a little bit, but um, you're not surprised with the Switzerland,
no, not so far. They are slow a bit because players are getting older. Not so many new
but
like
they're
surprises
fairly
there.
efficient as a team.
Yeah, they have they have actually good technique. Uh, Other than that, like not so like Neymar is not going to play against them, but I don't see them coming on top of Brazil or
Okay,
making some upset.
if they can get
Yeah,
a draw, even that would be better result for them.
yeah, they can actually do that actually. Like, but sitting deep, I don't think so. But sometimes it can happen with like if they play like five in
Well,
the back.
sitting deep doesn't mean that you sit deep like Serbia. Serbia didn't do anything. They have so many players and didn't do anything.
Uh,
I was so
yeah,
frustrated with
Serbia.
Tadic.
Yeah, Serbia was sort of like a little bit confused. I don't know, like playing against Brazil.
Like
They
you
did
almost paid too much
suffer.
respect.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, and that actually what happens if you are playing against Brazil for some reason, for so many teams. But Neymar was so much one of the best performance from him so far.
But then
He was like floating around.
yeah, there are people saying that Neymar will not be missed because Brazil has too much player. But how important is Neymar?
Like if he's in the team and the tournament is already started, it gives them a sort of like a mental boost.
Yeah.
And when he's not, it they don't have any other players who can do what Neymar does. right? Maybe if they play, I don't know, Martinelli, he can actually take like free kicks and stuff like that. Corners, maybe. Who else can make corners on that team?
Paqueta.
Paqueta, Paqueta, but Paqueta is not that good deliverer. Martinelli would have been, but Martinelli is not going to be.
Rodrigo, maybe, if he plays.
No, Rodrigo is a good finisher, but not good crosser or something like that. So that set pieces would have been actually. And if you're playing, if Switzerland is playing a little bit cagey games, so then
Yeah,
that would
you'll
have
you'll
been a
get a
chance.
lot more corners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. No. So you're with me here. I'm being disappointed with Serbian team. You had.
yeah, of course. I probably texted you in between the games, and I was actually about to sleep. It was a really rough day for me.
But a goal of the World Cup so far for
Yeah,
Richarlison.
Richarlison, the best goal so far in the World Cup.
Horrible first touch, but yeah, what a second touch.
Yeah, exactly. He actually, uh, everyone saying like Vinicius was assist maker, but it's sort of like he just got the pass from Vinicius, but he made the space.
Yeah,
Serbian defense
he
actually
had
had,
the space.
yeah. So, but yeah, like making those spaces, like after that sort of first touch, it was brilliant
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, you're seeing at least Brazil going through. Probably that looks most like
mm,
it. I'd be very surprised if they don't. Uh, and
that never happened actually in the World Cup history. So,
okay, okay. So in that case, Brazil is going, and if Switzerland can take the opportunity to get at least 1 point out of it, they probably have a better. But eventually, it would be between Serbia and Switzerland game that might decide everything.
yeah, actually, it will definitely. But Serbia, for some reason, they looked a bit confused. I don't know if it's Brazil or if it's their first tournament. I don't know. Is it their first or
No,
second?
they played the last World Cup against Brazil, isn't
Oh,
it?
okay. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, they played.
and the same
So
same
I don't
result,
understand. Yeah,
2-0.
yeah. I don't understand actually.
Yeah, me too. But let's move it to the other group H, and we've seen one brilliant game between Ghana and Portugal.
Yeah,
Uh,
I liked it actually.
yeah, thanks to the referee after giving a very bad penalty, that game just ignited.
Yeah,
Your thought on the game?
funny game to watch. Really enjoyed it. Um, well, that penalty was too soft, and problem was that like
It wasn't a penalty. Let's let's talk it over.
yeah, just
But it's the penalty that started the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, it opened up everything. But it was an enjoyable game. But um, there is this chance from this guy. The goalkeeper actually missed a. It would have been a horrible goal to concede at the last moment. You know.
Oh, the Inaki Williams got slipped.
Yeah, yeah. He did everything right, but he just slipped.
Goodness. What a horrible goal it had been for
He almost pelted the Portugal.
yeah, yeah. And Portugal defense, I don't know what happened. The second goal, whoever scored that, he hit the same celebration as Ronaldo. And Ronaldo was sitting on the bench. Wasn't shouldn't have been like this. But Kana played really well after getting uh, uh, the other funny incident happened. There are a lot of funny incident in this game. Andre Ayew scored the first goal for Ghana and was still celebrating on the bench while Joao Felix actually scored the goal. So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
it was he was celebrating with it, and they played with 10 men, and they just scored the goal right away. So there's a lot of funny incident happened on that game. and I think Ghana should have just got a point out of it. But the other game was a little bit boring. I think this game just balanced it out. Uruguay versus South Korea was one of the boring games so far.
Yeah, it should have been boring,
Yeah, I
but
think I think Uruguay needs to decide what they have to
that
do with
that
Luis
that
Suarez.
too actually one of those oldest squad, Korea and Uruguay.
Yeah,
Korea has like 11 over 30 players.
yeah. But Uruguay has one of the most informed midfielders in the team, Valverde. But he was given more of a defensive role rather than unleash him
Mhm.
to go up and down. Right?
Yeah,
He hit the ball in the crossbar, and I think there was a one or two other crossbar incident or post ball hit the post. But Uruguay and Korea both sitting on 1 point, while Portugal has a 3 point and Ghana sitting on zero. But but there's everything to play for. I think Uruguay is playing against Portugal tomorrow.
yeah, today, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
for me
yeah,
it's
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
For
Uh,
me as well.
so and Korea is playing against Ghana. So that is important game for all the four teams. But if you are the Uruguayan coach, would you drop Luis Suarez?
It should have actually. Maybe for like last 20 minutes is efficient, but not from the start, you know.
Yeah,
And 4-3-3 is a better shape for them than 4-4-2 or any other shape.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Makes a lot of sense. But coming back to Group A again, England looked so well in the first game. Looked very much like England in against USA. Your thought on the English performance?
um, these three midfielders from US, they were like so brilliant. They actually like English midfielders, as if like they're not there, and they sort of like a played like a fake 4-4-2
Mm,
system.
mm,
Like Pulisic was dropping a little bit and starting from a little bit deeper. Sometimes they are exchanging positions with one of the strikers. Sometimes it was unseen from 4-4-2 situations. McKinney was brilliant. He got his form back, and well, the like, what can I say? Billingham could not even get touch, and they could not actually make any sort of like a passing circuit or anything.
yeah,
And they were everywhere, and they were outrun. It was like from English points of view, it was horrible to watch
yeah,
in a way.
yeah.
And also, I think they got a little bit support from outside because I guess like some of the Marines are working for Qatar governments were there. I guess like that's how they out like how can I say outpopulate the English supporters, and they were really vocal. I heard like they were actually singing national anthem in the middle of the game. It was like well, it was in a way it's fun to watch, but it was end to end
Yep.
from start to the beginning.
But how disappointed Wales would be by losing two goals at least with
Maybe yeah, they
Iran.
probably they don't have any sort of like quality of players like Iran have. They only
Yeah.
have like Gareth Bale, and some Irani players are playing in Bundesliga.
Hmm.
And FC Porto has like
Yeah.
one of the scorer probably. So that's not actually upset or anything. It's
No,
sort of like
it becomes an interesting mouth-watering battle between Iran versus USA in the last game.
yeah, yeah. USA probably is good. Like they had two draw and
Two
Iran
draw,
was
and Iran
getting
has this one win. So
yeah.
all Iran needs a draw Um,
No, actually, because goal difference will come, and US doesn't have any goal difference.
no, no, no. With draw, Iran would be on 4 points. US would be on 3 points.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
All Iran needs is a draw, and because England, well, if England gets if England lose it against Wales, they might be out still technically.
Yeah,
But it would be
actually,
tough because
it
they
would
have a
be.
very good goal difference. They had a win and a draw,
Like
and
they
if
have
they
like four or two goal difference already.
no,
So
no,
like if we
see,
US
they
win in
won
any
6-2,
one game,
right?
so like,
6-2. So there is a 4 goal difference, positive four.
yeah. So oh yeah, yeah. Then that would be like more than four goal difference,
Yeah. So
right?
England, I think it's fairly secured at this point, even
Yeah,
if they lose.
yeah.
But I think they want to qualify there as a group champion. But let's see how Southgate lines them up against Wales, because Wales is, I think, is a team that likes to be more defensive than England, or they don't have any other choice. Um, and obviously, if Iran
I
gets
don't see them actually creating any chances or against England.
maybe some set
Set
pieces, and
pieces, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the other thing is this group is Iran has good chance if somehow they can manage a draw
Well,
against.
I would have actually loved to see Wales going, in my personal opinion, and because I don't like that much that sort of drama.
Yeah.
Um, because this game will be like in too much drama going on. But USA is sort of like not and not right now. They are in any sort of drama.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Uh,
Iran and England is like really in full on drama with some other topic, other
yeah,
things
outside
going on around. Yeah,
topics of
yeah.
football. Let's take a look at Netherlands group, which is a group A. Qatar already have um, been eliminated, the first team to eliminate in the first group stage as a host. So that some kind of history has been made, obviously. And then you have Netherlands on 4 points, one win and one draw. You have Senegal winning, so in 3 points, and Ecuador. Sorry, yeah, and Ecuador had a one win and one draw, so that makes them in the 4 points. I think they're in the second place. Uh,
Yeah. Ecuador is in the second place.
so Ecuador versus Senegal becomes a knockout game by that. Well,
Yeah, sort
all
of.
Ecuador needs a draw at least.
Yeah, if they get a draw, then they are through.
But Ecuador
Senegal
played
needs
really
to.
well actually, and a lot of teams have not seen a lot of pundits, Europe-based pundits. They were talking garbage before the World Cup, and Ecuador proved them wrong. And Netherlands were very fortunate to not leave that game by losing.
If you remember, like in our last Copa review,
Yeah,
we were talking about like two teams were building up in like inside the tournament. One was Uruguay, and the second team was Ecuador. So they actually did a good build up, and also like Inner Valencia found his form. Like he probably scored like six consecutive goals for them in the World Cup,
yeah,
and it's like a record, uh, um, like a world record so far. So yeah, they needed a scorer, but they don't like, have any other option so far.
yeah.
Uh, and
But
now they didn't have to look for an other option. So
yeah, they get this.
um,
This team can run.
yeah, exactly. And another thing is that like they are not that much cagey in this World Cup. They're free flowing, and I saw that actually interview. Probably you have sent it to me. the review from probably a US journalist or
No, no, no. It's a
it's
Tim Vicker. He's based on Brazil.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But he did update it. He was talking about all the four teams of South America. I think
Mm,
one of them
yeah.
is Ecuador. Um, but yeah, I think that's the clip we're talking about.
He's pretty right that their Argentine coach, right? And he actually built up like he got some really new fresh blood, and they can run.
Yeah,
And this in this World Cup, like it is proven right. Like whoever running fast or whoever outrun the opposition, it's sort of like a strategy, and they have like a fairly good. Well, I have seen them shifting in between the game, like from 4-4-2 to 4-4-3-3
yeah. They
sometimes.
can be even 5-5-3-2
Yeah,
as well. Five
yeah,
three
exactly,
5-4-1.
exactly. Like
But one
like
of the
changing shapes in the without changing like personals. It's a sort of a quality. I guess I would say like one of the biggest quality of a modern day football team.
And I think to me, Estupinian of Brighton is one of the players
Mm,
so far in the World Cup. Uh, he, if you see his stat and his progression through the ball and how he's winning it every duel,
yeah,
and how he's putting balls in the not just Estupinian, but he's one of the top players I think in the entire World Cup so far. So is Gonzalo Plata is very good on the right side. And there obviously Moise Caicedo is playing well as well. But I think this Ecuador team is full of. I mean, not so long ago they were the third team in the under 20 World Cup, and a lot of these players are coming from that team.
they
So
were actually sitting third or second most of the third probably most of the campaign in the
yeah,
qualifying.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is under 20 World Cup that they were third team in that, and a lot of these players were from that team. And Ecuador, and a lot of people were talking about Senegal being the African champion and stuff like that. I understand, no disrespect to Senegal, but they haven't actually seen Ecuador, or when Argentina were drawing against Ecuador
Yeah,
in qualifier. Some of the pundits I've seen making fun of it as if Ecuador is nothing, and then you have one of the superpower of Europe. Netherlands cannot actually beat them. Forget about beating them; they were almost beaten.
yeah, they were completely outrun in the second half, which is like surprising to see from a Bengal team.
And especially with
uh,
Frankie De Jong in the midfield, he was outrun too.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They were as if like a straw on a stream or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
So, but still, it looks like Netherlands might advance, and if Ecuador goes and they play with the top of the Group B, which is could be England, it would be very interesting game.
it would be physically dampening as well.
Yeah, yeah. But let's move to the other crazy group, that is Group C. Happening.
Super crazy.
Yeah, C for crazy. Obviously, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina and then going into this game against Poland. They played so well. They had a
Yeah,
penalty. Obviously, Poland scored, but Szczesny saved the penalty first time, and then there's a following shot was saved too. But that suddenly shifted some momentum, and Saudi Arabia started to miss some chances they were getting, and Poland being clinical, and Lewandowski scored his first goal, and he was very emotional. Uh, your take on Poland? Can they qualify?
I guess like there were some pressure on Lewandowski for a while to perform. I guess like in the first match, they did not actually. Well, they were fairly defensive actually. They could have actually lost that game.
Yeah, Mexico. Both team. I don't know
They
what
don't
just.
have actually firepower. Mexico, yeah, Mexico doesn't have firepowers too, but they could have actually hurt. When I was surprised to see Poland was sitting deep with like five in the back. and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There weren't any charge from midfield as well.
And so
So
Saudi Arabia too was actually dominated them totally. Totally dominated them.
yeah, yeah, sort of, and it it is actually not surprising to see, given that the condition is in their favor. Um, and they have brilliant coach, and they just played against Argentina and won. So it was surprising to see. And but funny thing is that like Poland is also like good in picking up moments.
Yes.
So
Especially.
does like
Yeah.
yeah, sort of like Croatia, sort of things. And when they picks up moments, and then they can actually turn around stuff, and they can actually their midfield is also like Zelensky is brilliant.
Yeah. True.
He actually probably their except from Lewandowski, like their best on front player right now.
Probably Matikash too. On the
Yeah,
right wing
yeah,
back, he's very
yeah.
they depend on him for a lot of crosses. Um,
I cannot hear you.
can you can you
Yeah,
hear me?
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just told about Matikash. Matikash is one of the key players for Poland team, but and also probably Szczesny, given that some of the saves he made. But the important game was also Argentina versus Mexico, and we already knew that there would be a lot of Mexican there, a lot of Argentines there, and I think it broke the record for the largest
Highest
attendance.
attendance. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but what's your thought on Argentina game? I mean, we were chatting so much on that game. I mean, to the point
Yeah.
it was the first half was so bizarre and so different.
I guess like if it's like continue to do that like for like if yeah, that the situation is continuing to build up for like 60 70 minutes. Argentina would have actually have a stalemate or get knocked out probably. But some of the changes actually made
Changed
more
the
sense.
changed the game,
Yeah, change the
especially
game actually.
starting Guido Rodriguez. I mean, I understand he's a good player, but he was dropping too deep in between center backs. There was no other option for him to pass around. Only DePaul was there, and he was marked. And obviously, Tata Martino went for very defensive formation. I've never seen Mexico go 5-3-2 like that, but anyway, it's his decision of going into that. He probably wanted to
Uh,
draw.
they were, yeah, they were also tried to block all sort of options from the wings, but Argentina have like only one option from the wing, Di Maria. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't actually play five defenders just because of Di Maria. You know.
Yeah, maybe he was taking a bit of caution, but I think changes such as Enzo Fernandez entering that changed momentum, as well as I think Argentina needs to find their own groove, especially in the passing. The tempo wasn't there. Obviously, Mexico did make it difficult, but it was up to Messi to basically bail them out, and he did.
Yeah, so far what he did actually did it in 2018, if you remember.
Yeah, against Nigeria. Yeah,
Um, but we have been talking about like them as a favorite, and this team has a difference between 2018 teams is that like the only difference is that like they don't rely on Messi that much, but they did actually yesterday because some of the players it felt like they were sort of like they were absorbing too much like pressure
yeah,
on
yeah,
themselves if they make any mistakes, so like they are not any taking chances uh, just to like, like just to like they just don't want to make any sort of mistake, like they are not playing brave or anything like that.
yeah. No, especially the build-up was not there. Messi was dropping way deep and trying to build it up from down there, and also
Yeah,
I think second half it was a little better, and also but they have to
Depaul
find.
was horrible in the first half.
Yeah, Rodrigo De Paul with the ball was really horrible, but I'm glad that he rescued himself somehow in the second half. I think he's a very good indicator of that team, how they're doing. If he's playing well, the team plays well. If he's not playing well, the team looks horrible. Uh, but a
Yeah,
lot of
because it's one of the like a senior member and sort of like a building blocks of that team actually. Before after Messi's retirement, I saw that um, it was probably the All or Nothing documentary from South America. I saw that interview from Scaloni, like they were talking about this building this team, and then they contract Messi, and then Messi came in, sort of like the sort of things. And he was there one of the first player who was settling down with the team. With Parades in the middle and Lo Celso on the other side. Yeah, it was actually horrible to see or like see him playing in the first half, and but second half he made some progressive run, which was missing actually from him. Uh, in the first half, he was doing that, but he was sort of like
he was horrible with the
in
position.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's sort of like in doubt, like in his mind, like if he wants to go forward or go backward and these sort of things. And this sort of thing actually cost them their last match.
yeah.
um, and another thing is that like when they changed it to like three in the back, it actually solidified some sort of things like
No, I
Aquilina.
understand that is the alternate tactics to manage the game. They manage the game better, but I
Yeah.
think they can do a lot more in the transition because I think there could have been, if they're clinical, they can score more goals in transition. Some of the missed passes and stuff like that, I think that they're costing them at this point. I mean, at this point it's fine against probably Mexico, but if there was a better team, they need to find those
Also,
chances.
yeah, counter attacks actually. um, uh, Also the problem was that like they don't have any width from the wings
Yeah.
or
No, they don't actually. The only
yeah,
guy
so
was Di Maria, or it was done by Nico Gonzalez. Now Nico Gonzalez is not here because of injury, so
yeah,
you don't have anyone.
yeah, yeah, that's the problem actually. So they need to solve it if they want to play against like an European team who are like they never
Solid
actually
in
lose
the
shit.
mid block. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They are not going to even go for mid block. If they play against like even like against Germany or Spain or stuff teams like that, they're not going to play in mid blocks.
No, I think they
Um,
will do a mid block because of Messi. Out of
mm,
respect for Messi.
yeah, but I don't see actually from German side or
No, I can see that.
Portuguese side.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Um, but back from that, I think the only outlet is Di Maria at this point. He was tried. I don't know how much leg he has to go for that amount of time. They could have used Julian Alvarez in the white, but he was chosen as an alternate number 9. Um, haven't tried Angel Correa or Paulo Dybala at all, but Paulo
Correa
Dybala,
is fast actually, and also like he can actually run into the that left wing as well.
yeah, but he's not tried yet. And also Paulo Dybala, it would be a strange one if he gets a little bit of minute against Poland because of his grandfather was from Poland. So, uh, so it would be almost almost a vintage throwback to him. Uh, but I think they could have, they definitely could have used Dybala. I think the team after losing the first game, they were nervous. They could not. They almost forgot how to play. There was that intricate passing that was gone. Obviously, you can talk about Lo Celso being important, but again, he's not there. That doesn't mean that the others cannot come and actually pass the ball. McAllister started doing that. I thought he was quite good. Enzo Fernandez, 21-year-old, has. We talked about when we saw that game, Boca versus River. And we thought, okay, this guy is interesting, or he should have been included. And he finally actually played the World Cup and scored a goal.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, your thought on that? They're comparing now with him as a Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, that is from English media. That's what I saw. But um, we have seen him fairly enough actually for last 2 years, I guess. Uh, he's uh, he's not actually Bellingham sort of guy, but he's more like, I don't know, sort of like a little bit similarity with Xavi, I guess.
I
But
could even say Tony Cruz a little bit.
Tony Cruz a bit, yeah, but not like completely different players and different profile. He can go box to box, and he had this aggression as well. But he's not like Bellingham. Bellingham is love to be in the box,
Yeah.
like at one point,
Yeah.
but he's not. He love to try sit just outside of the box actually, sort of like Xavi or Cruz.
But what
Uh,
is a good thing about him? He doesn't like you put him any role, he can adapt right away.
Yeah, exactly. So does McAllister. And funny thing is that I have mentioned him just because of his press resistance. Like he should have come off against Saudi Arabia because like I have seen like two, three Boca players and like pressing him in the deep in the midfield, but he was getting out of it for some like I don't know how, but he was getting out of it, and Boca players were like really good in pressing so far. Um, Current Argentine league champion right now there, so um, so that guy, if he can do nasty team against team like Boca, so that sort of things, and yeah, he can do any he could have actually done it against Saudi Arabia, but that's like could have should have, but he should have actually started. But which position, that would be interesting because like I'm thinking about sort of like a register or something like that. He can actually do that.
He actually can play
Defensive.
anywhere. That's the other part. And also,
Yeah,
as you mentioned, McAllister had a very good game. Actually, he was connecting
yeah,
well.
they can actually interchange position and get around. Oh, but I'm not thinking about actually that the main concern with this team is playing like finding a winger, or maybe they can actually offer something to the Brazilians and they can actually borrow a winger or something like
I
that.
don't think there is a. I mean, the only winger you'll see is Di Maria. It's from that Copa America. That, like,
Actually, in the age level, Korea was playing in the wings sometimes.
but
So
he was not as a like Angel Correa. I understand he's not an out and out your winger. He's the guy who is tend to come back a little.
yeah, then there is another option is that like when I say pushing one of those guys, McAllister and
You have to demand a lot from like someone like Molina. You have to push him out and demand a lot of things because he's not in the form at this point, and he needs to. He's very very important if they want to get something in the wing.
Molina.
Molina, and then you have to pray for the legs of Acuna because he's good, but the problem is he has this
He can run for like 60, 70 minutes.
he
I think.
that's he has this he's carrying this long term I think disease called that his calf gets injured after time to time, so he needs one game off, one game on. That's why you see a lot more Tagliafico. But I think Di Maria can cover one side, but you need the other side. And Montiel was horrible, so all you have is Molina.
That's true actually. Um, it's funny to see like how problems are unraveling in the middle of the tournament. So it will be an interesting solution if they go through all those
Yeah,
uh, all those problems.
yeah, it is.
And
But the
good
major
thing is
major
that
thing
we
is that if they can find that passing tempo in the middle of the park,
yeah,
they will be at least functioning. and that looked like a dysfunctioning team, at least Saudi Arabia game and the first half of this Mexican game.
Yeah, but against Poland, they're not going to push push them far. I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't seen them actually push them far.
but the good thing about whatever I've seen from the backline, especially against Mexico, they didn't have major problem from Mexico,
Yeah, that's true.
and
Yeah,
the
maybe.
two shots that Saudi had was a goal. But once if they can figure it out and they have some kind of protection, I think this team can actually shut down everything and can be really pragmatic and defensive as well. I mean, players like Palacios came and plugged the gap and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah,
Palacios, if he gets fit, he can run too on the channels. But yeah, it
they
is
can use actually Papu Gomez, the last option or the last resort,
yeah
probably in this.
yeah yeah. It's unfortunate because Nico Gonzalez would have been a utility player. But anyway, let's not get into that. But that's Group C. Argentina
Yep.
still on the shout. They need to beat Poland to go on top. But Group D, France looking very good with the position. Like we
Yeah,
almost
of
talked
course.
about it, that injury made them better.
Actually, it did. Some of the players we wouldn't have actually seen in the middle of the park, like Rabiot. Rabiot is playing well. Um, he's getting into the late runs. Chumeni looks solid so far. Griezmann is like really happy to get on the ball, and everything is going through him. He loves that. And Giroud is sort of like getting the fast touch in the middle of the defensive line, and then the final touch in the end. But he really needs to how can I say uh, find his duet dancing with Mbappe. Sometimes they are getting in
Each
their
other's
like
way. Yeah,
way,
yeah.
yeah, each other's way. So um, that's only like their shortcomings, and I don't actually see. And actually, Theo Hernandez is playing because of Lucas was like injured.
Injured, and that
Uh,
made them actually better on that side because
that actually makes him better. Theo is
Theo,
actually better player than.
yeah, Theo
Yeah,
and Mbappe on that side is actually scary.
yeah, exactly. And also like with Rabiot, for some reason, and Griezmann is pushing to the right to make the space for them and becoming sort of like a second striker. It actually makes them better. Especially this case, left side is like really scary, uh, and they can actually like shift to the like sit deep a little bit. Kunde is really fast so far.
Yep.
So he's covering that side, and Varane, I don't see. I haven't actually seen him finishing that match, and he
No.
was actually absent in the first match as well.
Yep. Yep.
So uh, I guess like there are some still injury issues, but I guess like he will be
But
fit.
they have players like I know Kimpembe is injured and out again, but they have like lot of other young center backs.
Yeah, even Kunde can play as a center back, but Kunde, I guess like he will be in the and William Saliba is of course one of the I guess like Saliba is not in the good book of
The
Deschamps.
champs. He needs
So
another injuries to play.
yeah, unless the yeah, probably Fofana or Varane will be injured and he will get his minutes and
Yeah.
it will be better.
Dembele is getting some minutes. Good to see him. This is
Yeah, but Coman is better
Komen is
than
better, but
Dembele.
for that Dembele has to be injured.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And given that the history of Dembele, it can happen in the
no, but
tournament.
recent history has been very good. Actually, he stopped
Oh,
gaming.
true.
Yeah.
Well,
The other
yeah.
surprise was for me was actually Australia beating Tunisia because I was expecting Tunisia beating Australia.
Okay. Oh,
uh,
okay.
Now Australia
Uh,
got 3 points. Then they have something to play for at least against Denmark in the last game.
yeah. Tunisia played inspirational football in the second half, but for some reason Australians are being Australians. In, that's what they do in every game,
Yeah,
every sort of
I
sport.
wouldn't be surprised if they actually what they need actually. Denmark has one draw and one loss versus France. So if
Yeah.
Australia draws against them,
Mm.
Australia will be second.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh goodness, I've not actually. I just calculated now. So now thinking of Australia is actually making it out, it would be massive for them. Um, but what's your thought on Denmark?
Um, they looked a bit tired, I guess.
Yeah,
For some
they're the
reason,
other team we're talking too much about outside football, but coming into.
yeah, and if you, I don't know if have you noticed it, but this World Cup is becoming sort of like a central midfielders World Cup, like central midfielders who can actually push further.
Yeah,
So it's sort of like and Croatia and Denmark is struggling because of that actually, because those positions the central midfielders normally push further was occupied by Modric or what's his name, Ericsson. And problem is that like the team can actually attack on those sort of channels, like the space leaving behind them, and they're not like as fast as they were before. So it was actually causing problems defensively for them, at least against so far what I've seen from France. And um, actually playing like three in the back was helping them at one point, but I have seen actually they like how France was like getting their momentum, and uh, like they sort of like outrun by Rabiot and Hernandez, and nobody was actually tracking them back. And Christiansen made a sort of like a desperate challenge on Mbappe so far, and it actually took him out of the game because of the yellow card. So, and he was pushing on that other side. So. Um, so far what I've seen, technically they are trying their best, but they really need another central midfielder to cover
yeah,
the spaces leaving behind by Ericsson. So
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, Denmark still can actually qualify um, if they can beat Australia. But if Australia gets a result, I'm just thinking out a scenario if Tunisia still can make it. If Tunisia beats France, they'll be in 3 points. Then it comes back to the goal difference, and then Australia have to lose. Denmark has to win, but not win by too much, so Tunisia can make it. So yeah, it's still a possible thing.
yeah, but so far Tunisia is can actually call themselves unlucky, because I have seen both of their games second half, like last 10-20 minutes. They were actually inspirational, and then they were actually getting supports from the locals as well. So it it sort of looked like a playing at home or something like that. But it was interesting football they played.
Yeah. I think we've covered almost everything. Anything else you want to talk about?
Um, a bit about like refereeing, I guess. Like
Yeah, sure. You like referees, I can see.
yeah, I know. Yeah, like there are so many hots and colds actually decisions.
If there has been one thing consistent that's been refereeing consistently very bad. Um,
Yeah, the thing is that like I don't experimenting on the World Cup. They can experiment like
the
on any other
qualifier,
tournament. Yeah, or qualifier or everything.
exactly.
I, but experimenting with new technology and everything in the World Cup is like too much. Like, I didn't like it in the last World Cup. I did, I don't like it in
Yeah.
this World Cup as well.
And some of
And
the rules
who
get
knows?
changes. That
Yeah, like I said, offside rules has completely changed. Um, uh, like also, I guess like what are the rules change? Um, Oh yeah, I already mentioned the uh, giving the advantages to the people, like to the teams. Uh, then there weren't any sort of advantages given.
No.
Like sometimes they run the play, but they are not like even making those signs for advantages, and they were actually like sometimes they like came back and showed yellow card or something like that, but there weren't any advantages played. So how can you like show yellow card to that guy? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And again, somehow I that's why I don't like someone like Colina. Uh, Not that I personally don't like or have any agenda, but all the talks, all the prep, all the big process to select the referees and training and stuff like that, still producing, excuse my language, is shit. So basically, you're preparing and packaging and also spending time and money and resources for producing basic shit. So whatever your process,
Actually, when you adopt a new system for any
it
sort of
takes time.
human, yeah, exactly. And like I liked his interview before what he was saying. Like I didn't like the procedure, but there were some talks like when they introduced VAR in 2018, and now they are more ready with VAR. So like that could have been actually like if new technology came in, okay, they came in, but they should be actually used in the local leagues and stuff like that. Then it should have come in the major tournaments, like so that the player get to adopt to, in those sort of things. And whenever it's like suddenly changes the rules or changes the quality of ball, like we have seen that actually, like the Zabulani ball from 2010, it was not actually good. I think the, those experimentation never goes well, almost. And if they have this sort of system and if they fix it for like next 8 years,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they have a review, then
yeah.
there will be like continuously, because what I have seen, like referees are in pressure right now to either they have to let the continuation of the game, and then there is like fouls and in between. It's like you have to make decisions in microseconds, and with all those technologies and everything, what good are they if you don't use them?
Yeah, I think you're correct. But if the ref
That's the
make,
dilemma they have to
but
solve
if the
actually.
ref makes a decision, there is, say for example, some are irreversible. Say for example, if he calls offside, he cannot actually go and play. So he has to wait until the ball goes over or something, right? I
Mhm.
can understand that to flow in, but certain referee just giving a decision of penalty, such as the Cristiano Ronaldo one, such a softy one, why cannot VAR overrule that? They didn't even had a look at it. I mean, was a part
Yeah,
of
that
what's the point of VAR
yeah,
if you don't
yeah,
actually have a review on that?
yeah, exactly. And
If the
another
on-field
thing is
referee is that strong, so so you're encouraging a referee not to make any call on penalties. So just communicate that, and if anyone actually calls a, any human can
no,
have a
they
bad
can
call
actually fall and then have a
overruled.
like yeah, then have a look actually, and then can overrule or something like that. If you remember that Canada game against Belgium, there was like at least two more penalties to come, and one of them are like given offside, which was not. So that is one of the like most ridiculous decisions so far
Like that's
in the
probably the
tournament.
best pass from Eden Hazard in this entire tournament.
Yeah, true, true. But yeah, it should like VAR could have actually have a because there are like two VARs. One is checking the offsides, and another one is checking those misconducts, and so they could have actually call the referee. Um,
Okay, that brings another totally side topic. is that Belgium being the second best team in the world FIFA ranking. So, do you think FIFA ranking is any good?
Actually, it it is not based on form. It's like sort of like a long
Accumulation,
term.
accumulation of the
Yeah,
points.
yeah,
But why
accumulation.
it cannot happen for a short time? Because those sitting, I mean, those top spot holders actually gets a better sitting.
Yeah, it can be by doing this. It's sort of like a Nations League and accumulated with like European and Asian teams and or European and South American teams. And if the Nations League is becoming worldwide thing, then you can actually do that because like there are like relegations and other stuff going on. Then you can actually like do if you put everyone in the system, then you can actually do this sort of things. Otherwise, like other than accumulation, we don't have any other system so far right now.
Okay, fair enough. Now,
Like
le-
we don't have actually like we can only say for like forms like last five match who was doing what.
yeah,
And if you like consider that like last five matches was is spread over like 8 months,
yeah,
then it doesn't make sense because like in 8 months one team can completely change. Like Ecuador, they did not actually have players, and just because of COVID, some older players could not get into the Copa, and then they
yeah,
got new players, and then now they are actually doing like pretty well so
yeah,
far. So
yeah.
uh, it's sort of like and another thing I was thinking about like is football's generation has like generational how can I say like a age of a generation is changed or something like that, or the range of a generation is changed towards the three or something year from five. I don't know because like 3 years ago I have seen some teams struggling and they are now in the World Cup. So I don't know.
Yeah. Again, going back to the some of the refereeing question, I think the entire rules on certain calls cannot be alternated or or something like that. They have rules, obviously, and some of the rules make sense from just from rules point of view, but it doesn't make sense from the player's point of view because we were talking about the obstruction of the goalkeeper rule, especially the
Mm,
Netherlands Ecuador game. That goal was
mm,
offside under the rule,
mm.
makes sense, but
Y-
the keeper actually
yeah.
was diving way before, and the
I
player.
know. Actually, when the shot, how can I say, when he shoot, it was not actually counted because like there is another Ecuadorian player
No,
in
no, no.
between
I
the
get that.
goalkeeper. So like he got like that touch. So like from that touch actually, and there is another like who was in offside.
No, no, no.
So
I get
like
that. I get that.
the
But the
line
but
was
the
like
offside player didn't have even chance to move because it just happens in a microsecond, right? And the keeper, you have to
yeah, it's
anticipate and you have to dive. As a
it
keeper,
is
he's done the right thing.
yeah, and the thing is that like uh, because like keepers doesn't have get chances, like they don't get any sort of like benefits of doubts,
But
you
but
know.
but we have seen so many times deflection goals. Like keeper dive to one side, deflected, it goes into other side. It
Yeah,
happens
but
so much.
the thing is that like have you seen set pieces like lately? This World Cup doesn't have any like more set piece goals than other World Cups. Because like in set pieces like teams are like getting like too much like they put probably all of their 11 players in the in the box just to protect the set pieces, and their other teams what they do, they try to like how can I say uh, uh, overpopulate the space around the goalkeeper so that the keeper could not actually jump. Have you seen that goal from Morocco? Who scored against Belgium, Morocco, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't see the game.
Oh, okay. So like that goal actually came from the shot to the near post, and um, Thibaut Courtois was crowded by the other team's players. He couldn't actually see that goal. So the thing is that like this sort of things happen, and also like in the corners, like one guy is like uh, from the opponent team who are attacking. They are actually like putting one guy in the near to the goalkeeper, you know, just to just not to make runs. So like now everything is becoming like I mentioned like a rugby games. So like it's sort of like becoming a sort of like a strategy, like body charges and stuff like that. Body charges to the goalkeeper. Well, every time like referee will favor the goalkeeper, you know. But the
Yeah.
thing is that if you do it technically, so and there are teams actually they actually take advantage of these offside positions
Yeah.
and block the views from the goalkeeper. So like uh, that's why this rule actually
No, no,
stands. And there were actually
I get that.
there was
I get that, but you have
sorry.
um, the game wise, it doesn't make sense because you could have taken that. Okay, if the player is actually obstructing, if it's
Mhm.
obstructing, just rule it out. If
Yeah,
it's
I know. It's sometimes like some things are like always doesn't make sense. But the thing is that like we don't have any like
there's so
if
many
we have
variables out there.
yeah exactly if we have like everything computed like then Argentina would have been the champion because EA Sports predicted it. So
Mhm. Yeah.
so that would have been a World Cup, you know. Uh, we are humans, like we are making mistakes, and they're also humans. They're making mistakes, and that actually makes everything interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually PLC's dialogue. Uh, that's what he says. Um,
I'm from that school actually.
yeah. So on that note, do you want to talk anything else?
I want to ask you a question. So far, who is the favorite to win it all? And it's like already like after tomorrow, it will be only like 5 match game,
Yeah,
5 match tournament.
I think somehow injury made it better. France looking like the team at this point, um, at least to me, and Brazil looks good. But again, I have to say Brazil without Neymar.
Yeah, but without Neymar will come back probably in the second round.
But
So
then
it doesn't make much
I
sense.
well with the ankle injury and the amount of ankle he uses, I don't know how much great he will be. But yeah,
Well, they
if
will
he
have
comes
a
back,
dilemma like 1998, you know.
no, if he comes back, it makes sense. But if Brazil plays against some very tactical team who can actually defend well and frustrate them, that that may be and also has also can hurt them in the back. I think Brazilian defense. Nobody. The reason Brazilian defense look good because nobody actually takes them. If anybody takes
They
them,
don't they don't get 1v1 situations, you
much.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can talk about France and Brazil at this point. Would be probably more in the first tier, and the others. I think everyone else is kind of trying to find themselves.
Yeah, from second round, I don't know. Maybe some
It
team
might be
will
totally
come.
different
Yeah,
because of you have the team that plays almost same 11 will get fatigued out eventually.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We have mentioned that it's sort of like a. I guess like it would be at least like 2 hours and 30 minutes game.
yeah, and
Normally it should have
if you
been like
add all
120
the
minutes.
knockout games, if it's
Yeah,
stalemate, yeah,
yeah. But that brings the questions like golden goal should have been actually a very
yeah,
good choice, you know.
uh, makes sense. But again, it's FIFA. Anything else?
No, not any at all.
Okay, on that note, then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. If you're really watching, let us know that what if there is any question, first of all, or comment. If there is none, I mean, please make sure that you watch and enjoy the World Cup. Final comments from you, Shudita?
Not really. Um, I guess like well, comments would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.